The Chicago Lighthouse presents How to
Use a cell phone as a person who is blind or visually impaired.
Hello, this is Luke Scriven, Assistive Technology Specialist here at the Chicago Lighthouse. And in this how-to video, we're going to be addressing the question of how can somebody who is visually impaired or blind use a cell phone. Now, when it comes to cell phones, there are the smartphones and there are the feature phones. And the smartphones are mostly going to be either Apple's iPhones or Android-based phones. So let's take a look at those first of all. Here I have an Android-based phone. And into these phones, we have different accessibility options built in. So the first of those that we're going to look at is called TalkBack. And TalkBack is a screen reader.
Off, ringer silent.
And it will talk to us and tell us whatever's going on with the phone. So let me go ahead and turn on the screen here.
3:33 p.m.
Now what I can do in order to find things on the screen, all I have to do is move my finger over the screen and it's going to tell me what my finger is on.
Outlook. Chrome. Inbox. Hangouts.
So as we can hear, it's reading whatever my finger is on, and in order to open that application, all I have to do is double tap. This is obviously very useful. If I go into a menu,
Apps. Facebook.
I can use
Showing
certain
items
shortcuts
22 of 62.
in order to navigate through the phone. For example, if I swipe my finger down and to the left, that's the shortcut for back. It will take me back to the home screen.
Home screen 1 of 3. Home screen 1 of 3.
So using TalkBack, we can navigate the phone even if we can't see it. Now, obviously, this is a very quick demonstration, and there is a lot of learning that you have to do. But it's perfectly possible to use all of the features of the phone by using TalkBack. Now, the other feature that's built in is magnification for those people who are visually impaired. In order to magnify, we can triple tap on the screen with
Screen
one
off,
finger.
ringer silent. 3:34 p.m.
So I'm going to triple tap on the screen, and we're going to see it's going to suddenly become larger. Okay, we've zoomed in. Now, in order to pan around the screen, I can use two fingers, and that will allow me to pan around the screen. When we're zoomed, we obviously don't see the entire screen, so we have to pan around to find things. To zoom out again, we can triple tap again, like so. If we want to just locate an object easily, we can triple tap and hold, and then wherever we move our finger will be magnified, and when we let go, it will zoom back out. So let me demonstrate that. Now, as I move my finger around, it will follow my finger, and once I've found what I'm looking for, I'll let go, it will zoom back out again. So those are some very nice features that are built right into Android there. Now, in order to access these features, what you need to do is go to the Apps menu.
Apps. Facebook.
And we're going to
Showing
find
items
something
2 to
called
22 of
Settings.
62.
If we look along the top here, we can see it.
Settings.
So we're going to open that.
Settings.
And here we find something called Accessibility.
Accessibility.
Opening that
Accessibility. Showing items 1 to 8 of 19.
will give us access then to the things such as TalkBack, such as the magnification, as well as other features which can help us access the phone. So moving on to Apple's iPhone, again, there is fantastic accessibility built into the iPhone. So with Apple, we have something called VoiceOver, which is very similar to TalkBack, and will read to us and tell us what's going on with the phone.
Notes.
So here we are on the home
Double tap to
screen of the
open.
iPhone. In order to navigate through the icons here, I can swipe from left to right or right to left.
Photos. Finance folder. 8. Angry folder. Newsstand folder. The score. Double tap to
And
open.
so on. Very easy to navigate. I can also move my finger along the screen and have it read whatever my finger is on.
The score. Notes. Camera. Contacts.
And if I want to
Double tap
open
to open.
something, I can go ahead and double tap and open it. So very similar to TalkBack. Again, it will give me full access to the phone, allow me to do whatever I want to do. So even if I can't see the phone, I'm able to use all of the features of the phone using VoiceOver. Apple also has magnification built into their phone. The gesture to use it is slightly different. So with Android, it was a triple tap with one
Double
finger,
tap to open.
whereas with the iPhone, it's going to be a double tap with 3 fingers. And that's going to zoom in. In order to pan around the screen, I'm going to keep on using 3 fingers,
Photos.
and that will allow me to
Double
move
tap
around
to
the
open.
screen. And to zoom out, I'm going to go ahead and double tap with 3 fingers again. With both of these, you can also change the size of the magnification, so you can tailor it to whatever particular size of magnification that you need. And you can also magnify any screen, so whatever you're doing, you're able to magnify it and see what's going on. In addition, there are also different contrast options, so you can make things, for example, white text on a black background, which can reduce glare and help you to see the screen. Another thing built into the smartphones, which can be very useful to somebody who is blind or visually impaired, is speech recognition. And using speech recognition, we're able to do things such as dictating text messages and emails, and we can also do internet searches using just our voice. So for example, I want to find out something about George Washington. I'm going to use Siri on the iPhone here. Hold down the home button. Who is George Washington?
I found an entry about George Washington on Wikipedia. Shall I read it to you?
Yes.
George Washington was the first president of the United States. 1789-97.
And I'll stop it there.
Messages.
So the phone there
Double tap
found
to
a Wikipedia entry on George Washington for us, and we can search on any topic, and it makes it a lot easier. Rather than having to go to the internet and do the same thing, we can simply ask the phone. We can also do things like set alarms, set different calendar appointments, and so on, making it very easy to operate a smartphone as long as you know what commands to use.
Screen dimmed.
So the final category of phone that we're going to look at is feature phones. And feature phones in general can be tricky for somebody with a visual impairment to use because the screens can be fairly small and low contrast, and the buttons likewise can be quite small. However, there are some phones which are tailored very much for people with a visual impairment. One of those is known as the Jitterbug, which unfortunately I don't have here. But the Jitterbug has large and high contrast buttons and has a service whereby you can call an operator and ask them to connect you with somebody in your phone book. So you don't need to know the number of the person. As long as they're in your phone book, the operator can connect you, and that makes it very easy for people who struggle to navigate a phone and remember phone numbers. So that's one example. Another example I have here is called the Odin VI. And this is a feature phone built from the ground up for people who are visually impaired or blind. And this phone will talk to us and allow us to navigate it through its voice. So if I flip it open here.
4:40 p.m.
So the first thing it does is
Odin
tells us
is
the
ready.
time and tells us that it's ready to go. If I was to go into the menus here,
Contacts.
so as you can hear, it's reading out the menus. I can navigate using the arrow keys.
Call log.
So let's say I want to go into the call log. I'm going to hit the OK button.
Missed calls.
And then I've got missed calls.
Dialed calls.
Let's check the dial calls here.
Curly. 8.
So somebody called Curly apparently called me at some point on this phone. So it's very easy to navigate. We can hear everything that's going on. We don't have to be technological whizzes in order to use this phone.
Dialed calls.
If somebody calls us on the Odin phone, it will tell us the name of the person who's calling us as long as they're in our contact list. And if they're not in our contact list, it will tell us the number of the person who's calling. And in order to answer the call, all we have to do is flip the phone open. So again, very easy to use. For somebody who is intimidated by smartphones and finds them too complicated, this kind of phone can be exceptional for them. If you do decide to purchase an iPhone, one great way to learn how to use it is by watching the Hadley School's series of videos on the iPhone, which are called the iFocus videos, and can be found in full on YouTube. And these videos cover every aspect of using an iPhone, and whatever you want to learn, they have it there in a very clear and concise manner. So that is a great resource. Another great resource for learning how to use a smartphone in general is AT&T, who hold workshops for people, including people who have a visual impairment. And the workshops, even if you didn't buy your device from them, they would be happy to teach you in these workshops where they cover phones, smartphones and tablets. So those are two great resources which I would definitely make use of if you need them. So thank you very much for watching this video on how to use a cell phone as a person who is blind or visually impaired. I hope it's been useful, and if you want to find out more, you can always give us a call at 312-997-3649. That's my direct line, and I would be happy to tell you about any of these topics. You can visit us online at chicagolighthouse.org, and you can call our store at 1-800-919-33 Thanks again for watching, and be sure to watch our other how-to videos.